Good afternoon. Welcome to the Chicago Humanities Fall Festival and our program with Kate McKinnon. I'm Philip Bahar, the Executive Director of Chicago Humanities, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to this historic Illinois Tech campus with, by the way, the most Mies van der Rohe buildings in the entire world in one place. And we're really thrilled to be reworking with the Institute of Design next door on all of today's programs. It's been a wonderful partnership, and thank you for joining us. Across the rest of the Fall Festival, you'll have opportunities to reflect on some of the pressing civic and civil issues of our time. You'll hear about freedom of speech from Princeton President Christopher Eisgruber. We have a conversation about the history of the Constitution and where we are today with the remarkable historian Jill Lepore. And we'll talk about economics and our society with Stephen Dubner of Freakonomics, who was actually mentioned by one of our other speakers earlier today. And since we're at a literary event, we'll also have a chance to hear from some of the really iconic authors of our time, prize-winning authors like Margaret Atwood, whose Handmaid's Tale is more resonant today than it's ever been, Salman Rushdie, who is out and about for the first time since he was attacked for his own ideas, and then the great satirist and humorist Gary Steingart. So I hope you'll join us for many other events between now and mid-November. Now, a few words about our speakers. Kate McKinnon, I don't really need to introduce her, but is an award-winning performer and writer who's celebrated globally for her work in film and television, including Saturday Night Live, Miss Frizzle in The Magic School Bus Rides Again, for those who watched that one, and for her role as Weird Barbie in Barbie. So that was definitely a defining one. Equally importantly today, especially, McKinnon's committed to creating stories that allow children to better understand who they are and how they fit into the world. And as I was thinking back about some of those early formative books in my life, and it started making me feel very old, I'm thinking of Beverly Cleary and Judy Blum and the great Encyclopedia Brown series and The Hobbit and Roald Dahl, who in a certain way is connected to the Quib series without maybe some of the exceptionally dark humor. So creating opportunities for young people to explore themselves, to explore the world, and to open their eyes to how they can engage with it is a critical part of our society. And I really do thank Kate McKinnon for her contribution to this list of books. She'll be joined today by Matt Rodriguez, an Emmy Award-winning host and producer for NBC. He's a regular on The Today Show and Kelly Clarkson, and hosts Matt in the Morning and Chicago Today here in Chicago. So please join me in welcoming Kate McKinnon and Matt Rodriguez.
You got lint, honey. You've got lint on yourself there. You got a little bit of lint on you. Take it off. Hi, everybody. Look who it is. Oh, my gosh.
Look who it is.
I feel like I'm hosting SNL. This is amazing.
It's a little earlier, dear.
It's a little early. Yeah, the time difference. So many. I think this is the most I've seen. Congratulations on your turnout.
Thank you so much for coming. Oh my gosh. And where are the young readers?
Hi. Ah! Scream out. Scream out.
Hi. Thanks for coming. Oh, you guys are amazing. Ooh, I'm happy to see you. Okay. My glasses are fake.
That's. Are they really? You say that so much. Are they really?
They are fake. I wear them to so I can feel smarter.
They look great on you. So
Thank
it's
you.
Kind of a fashion statement as well.
Thank you.
Yes, I love it. So, let's start with the first book.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there they are. Give them a round of applause. The Porch Sisters. The Porch Sisters. The first book, 10 years.
Yes.
To write, to work through, to get it on the page.
Yes.
And then you release it into the wild.
Yes.
And it does so well.
That's nice.
How did that? Yes. What did that feel like? Because I can't imagine holding on to something for that long and then releasing it. And then you're like, oh my gosh, they like me. They really like me. And and they connect with the characters that you created.
Well, that's I mean, why do we write stories? That's the question of the Humanities Festival, which brings us here today. No, really, I had these characters in this world, the world of mad science, in my head for so long. It is very clear visually in my head. I feel like I have rented the movie of this world so many times and watched it in my head so many times. It looks like Nightmare Before Christmas or Coraline. I love stop motion. And so these things were just always in my head. And I just wanted to communicate them. I just wanted other people to see it, basically, because I loved it so much and I wanted to share it with people and see if they liked it too. And I think that's why anyone does any kind of art. It's like you want to reach out and say, look, I'm thinking about this thing. I like this. Do you like it too? And if they do, then it means you're friends. And then you have a new friend.
You made a lot of friends. And some of them being so young. And that was probably new to your demographic, I imagine. Had you done much work for children? Had you done any children's shows?
No, well, yeah. I've done a lot of cartoon voices. And I love animation so much. I love what they call 4-quadrant, which is just, it's for kids and grown-ups at the same time. And I think that some of those movies are like the funniest, the most sophisticated humor, the most sophisticated storytelling. The Pixar movies are, I find the humor so brilliant and the stories so gut-wrenching and moving. And so I always wanted to work in the middle grade genre, which is what these books are in. It's called middle grade. It's ages 8 to 14. Harry Potter's middle grade. Heard of it? And I would tell people I'm writing a middle grade novel, and they would say, "Oh, don't be so hard on yourself." But that's what the genre's called. It's called middle grade, and it's my favorite genre of literature. Always has been.
What did you connect with at that time? What were the books you were leaning on and reading, and how did they open you up as a creative person?
Bless you for asking. I was a Pippi Longstocking girl.
Oh. Do young people know what Pippi Longstocking is?
Do you guys know Pippi Longstocking?
Oh, wait. This girl that clapped goes, no. She was clapping right. No, but I'm going to clap. Sorry to interrupt.
No. I was obsessed with Pippi Longstocking. And I've taken off my fake glasses so I can see you better. I see worse with the glasses. I used to, I went to kindergarten with my hair in pigtails with pipe cleaners in it, and my clothes were dirty. That was another story. Anyway, I loved how weird she was, how unapologetically weird she was, and how even as the people in the town around her were they didn't understand her. Some of them were actively mean to her. Some were just sort of like, Pippi. And I kind of felt that way in my town, even though I grew up in a very cool hippie town filled with humanities and things like wonderful arts programs at the public schools. I still felt sort of dogged by the conventions around me. And so I read about Pippi and I thought, oh, there's a gal who's not doing it like anyone else and is just fine with it. And it seemed to be water off a duck's back for her. The way that she was different. I loved how she dealt with it. And I wished I could deal with it like that. I wasn't always so unflappable, but I did love how she would just, fumble around and pick up a horse and cause anodyne mischief and have just be a force for, feminism, but also just oddness. And I've sort of made a career out of exploring a life as an odd person, which everyone is. I think it's a universal experience. Everyone is odd in their own way. Even if you're popular, I think people go home and feel odd in some way. And so anything that speaks to that experience is something that really resonates with me. And I think most middle grade books do speak to those questions of identity and how to figure out who you are and then how to show up in the world as that person.
Who was the first person that showed you a way to lean into your oddness and let you know that it was okay?
Oh, gosh. I think it was my mother.
Oh, and you dedicate the first book to her.
Yes. My mom is a social worker and is just kind of an iconoclast. And she, when I... She's very funny. My mother's very funny. That's all I'll say. She's very funny. And my father was very funny as well. My father, also an iconoclast, was an architect, a solar architect in the 90s. Yes.
What, like solar panels?
Yes. He was trained as a solar architect and was begging people in Long Island in the 90s to put solar panels on their houses and stuff like that, because he was a sincere, huge environmentalist and no one wanted to do it. And but in my house growing up, it was always, Reagan cut the tax benefits for solar panels and and that's all I would hear every day. Reagan cut the which is kind of a different speech than most fathers give when they go. So I had these two folks in my house who were both very funny, who were quoting SNL all the time. And then I had a bunch of teachers who were also encouraged me to be exactly who I was and who I wanted to be. And that's all you need.
Teachers are where the magic is.
Yes.
I remember sitting down with the English teachers, and it was a group of women, and they were a little older, but they just got me. And they'd be like, sit down, Matt, talk to us, ask us questions. And so I imagine you had that too. You had those teachers
that yes.
treated you like an adult and saw you as a peer rather than like a subject.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Miss Patterson let us eat lunch in the choral room every day. And we just played the piano and sang and were, I'm sure, very annoying to her. But she let us do it because she knew that we didn't want to be out there with the football. So thank you, Ms. Patterson.
Yeah.
Thank you. Not that there's anything wrong with being out there with a football.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. I wish I could catch a football.
Don't we all?
I've tried. I've tried. I can't do it.
Let's talk about Sisterhood, because at the same time you had your sister, and you dedicate this latest installation to her. So how did Sisterhood lift you up when you were younger? And did it when you were younger, or was it when you were older? Did you fight like cats and dogs, or what was the relationship?
My sister and I have never had a fight. We had one fight one time, and it was about bed bugs. It's a long story. But we've never had a fight, and we just are best friends. It's just luck. It's just sheer luck that if I had to pick a sister out of all the possible sisters in the universe, I would pick the person who happens to be also my biological sister. And that's just, I don't know what that is besides luck.
So was it because of her that you wanted to create this book that really celebrates sisterhood and that relationship?
Well, I wanted to, yes, because as soon as my sister could talk, she started doing voices, and I was already doing voices. She's 5 years younger than me. So we came out doing voices, and my parents were doing voices, and everyone was just doing characters. It was a sketch comedy house. What can I say? And so whenever I would go out into the world and like say something in a British accent out of nowhere, sometimes people would look at me like, but then I would come home and do it and everyone would laugh riotously. And so home was like a very comforting place where we could really all be ourselves. And that is not everyone's experience. And I feel very lucky for that.
Who was your first celebrity impression? Like, if you're doing British accents.
Barbara Walters.
Oh. Did you do her on SNL?
No, I never did.
You never did?
No.
Could you grace us with a little Babwa? I worked for her once. I was her intern.
Wow.
My book's coming out too, honey. No, give it somebody. I don't want to put you on the spot, but I'm putting her on the spot.
Get in the car and get my salad.
Yeah. Yeah, yes. That's it. So when you started writing...
Where's the balsamic?
Oh, if only she was that joyful. But a legend. A legend. We celebrate her. We really do. I mean, she had a lot going on.
Matt, I ordered the
Gorgonzola. When you were writing the first book, was the Purple Pearl in there as well? Did you know where it was going?
I know the ending. That's all.
You know the end. Is there an end?
There
a
is
clear end.
There is an end. I'm not sure when it will be. I know the end. I didn't know anything else. I knew the beginning and I knew the end. And I loved having to come up with what's in the middle. That's fun because I was doing it on a more of a time crunch than the first book, which took over a decade. Okay, can't take that. It can't take that long. No, so I. But it was so fun to think of how to expand the mythology of this universe that I had not planned, and I'm really proud of what I came up with on a time crunch, which is usually how things go. You usually think of your best material when you have no time to think.
So did SNL help you with that? Did SNL prepare you?
Oh my gosh, yes. Like I came to SNL with a lot of characters that I had done in New York in the comedy scene beforehand. And I thought, gosh, I got to space these out. Yeah. Because that's all I got. I can't possibly think of anything more. And then I used them all within like 6 months. And I thought, oh, no. What am I going to do now? And then just having the incredible pressure of, I have to submit a sketch this way. I have to do something. I guess I could do this thing with my body or this thing with my face. Build something around that. And then I thought of stuff that was so much better than all the stuff I had come in with that I had labored over for years. And I think that's the way it goes.
What's the difference?
Hopefully.
What's the difference between that short sketch writing and then something like this that you have that end you're building up to?
The difference
is
in a sketch, because there are some great similarities, I think, between sketch comedy and middle grade literature, which are that people have funny hairdos, typically, and funny names. And that I find there is like a hopefulness in the genre, as opposed to stand-up, which is can be kind of acerbic. I love stand-up. It's brilliant. Sketch tends to have a little bit more joy and buoyancy in it, and that's what drew me to it. So those are the similarities. The main difference is that in a story, in literature, a character has to change by the end. They have to have grown, or else it's not a story. That's what a story is. And in a sketch, a character cannot change. They have to retain their foibles throughout, and then the next time you see them in a sketch, they have to have the exact same foibles. They can learn nothing. They are doomed to repeat their own mistakes, and that's what makes it a sketch character. But a protagonist in literature has to grow and has to learn something, and that journey of growth is the hero's journey is what makes it a story, and it's like your thesis about life, what you think about life, is expressed via that journey of growth, which is a little harder than a sketch where a character just is repeating their mistakes.
How do you keep track of everything in the books, all the characters, all the worlds, the names? Do you have like graphs and charts? And I see whiteboards and Post-it notes all over your wall. Is it organized in some way?
It's all in here.
Yeah.
And then I forget, and then I go look back in the draft, and it takes a long time, and I should
like
be
that?
more organized.
You
Yes.
should have like a glossary.
No,
or
yeah,
something.
I should.
Okay.
I don't.
Would you like to read something from the book? Would we like
sure.
that? Would we like
Sure.
that?
Is it marked there?
It is. It's
Okay,
marked.
so in the first one, the main thing that happens are that the Porch sisters, Gertrude, Eugenia, and Dee Dee Porch, get kicked out of their etiquette school, and they get invited to a mysterious new etiquette school that is presided over by the infamous mad scientist Millicent Guipa, who no one likes because they think she pickles people's brains and they think she's very dangerous. And she's actually not that bad, you guys, if you get to know her. And she takes them on an adventure in the town to fight the Kinetics Research Association, the KRA, which is an organization of evil mad scientists who are up to no good. The no good remains a mystery, though we do learn more about what it is in Book 2. In Book 2, the Porch sisters and Millicent go to the Purple Pearl Hotel, where they are trying to find the legendary Purple Pearl, which has mysterious powers that the KRA are trying to get their hands on, again, for no good. So this is a poem about the legend of the Purple Pearl. It's the Ballad of the Purple Pearl by Lord Nylon Stocking. Many, many years ago, when life for some was warm and swell, but for others not so much, there was a man named Clambert Shell. Mad scientist of the mountain lake, he studied creatures there below, octopi with claws for legs, and sea urchins of eerie glow. He found an oyster plain and brown with a pearl of plum, and shocked was he that when he held it he possessed the gift of endless vibrancy. He set the pearl into a ring and gave it to his bride-to-be. They rode upon Kaglupi Lake, and they docked beneath the willow tree. He pulled the ring out from his coat with much too much enthusiasm. He knocked her from that green rowboat into the frigid lake's wide chasm. And then the lake began to boil, and it swallowed up the tender girl, and it swallowed up poor Clambert Shell, and it even swallowed the Purple Pearl.
So where did the Purple Pearl come? Beautiful, by the way. And the Emmy goes to... Where did the Purple Pearl come from? The idea of this hotel and all of that. Was that an experience you had as a young lassie?
I did go to a hotel once.
The Days Inn.
Have y'all ever been to a hotel? It's crazy in there. No, my family went on vacation this one time. We didn't go on a lot of vacations, but we did this one time to this hotel that was by a lake, this amazing lake. And there was a breakfast buffet at the hotel that had everything for breakfast. everything you could possibly eat was at this buffet for breakfast, which I found very interesting. And there was this amazing lake, and I just always have been obsessed with the sea. Is anyone here into marine biology? The sea. Woo! Yes. I think sea creatures, especially the ones that are at the bottom of the ocean, are the weirdest, most amazing things. You look at a clam, you go, what? This is an animal. Huh? And so I wanted to write about creatures of the sea. So there's a lot of kind of crazy creatures of the sea in the lake at the Purple Pearl. And I was always going to the beach and finding shells and then bringing them home and putting them in the bathtub and getting in with them. And my mom let me do it. Because she's a good mom. Anytime we would go to a restaurant, I would get linguine with clams. And I would take home the shells and put them in the bathtub. And then get in the bathtub. That's how much I liked the ocean.
Do you want a hug?
As you can do after.
Okay. Has anyone listened to the audiobook of the first installment? Okay, I highly recommend buying the book, reading that, and then also getting the audiobook because it is so entertaining. And as you were reading that poem, I could see you reading the book behind the mic because it's her voice, all her voices, and your sister too.
And my sister does voices as well in it. Yes.
And it is a full movie. I mean, it is not just reading the book. You do full characters and all the voices.
Oh,
and I would love if you could talk about the three sisters and how you developed their voices.
Ah, yeah.
Because I think they're so distinct and developed.
Thank you.
Child.
Oh, child. Well, yes, it was kind of it was tough to make three distinct characters. I knew there had to be three sisters because in comedy stuff happens in threes, and I wanted it to be funny, so I knew there had to be three sisters. And so coming up with the different voices, I sort of had them in my head, but I had to make sure they didn't overlap. And so Gertrude sort of talks like this, because this is how I sort of voice. And then Eugenia is very like, ugh. She's just like always rolling her eyes and it's just like over everything all the time. So she talks like this.
And then Dee Dee, it's just like, always, like, fine. Just very zen. And so I chose this voice for her.
And whenever I'm coming up with a character, be it for a sketch, be it for anything, whatever, I always have to know first the hair. Because hair tells so much story about a person. And then the voice. What is the voice? That's my primary concern. And then everything sort of flows from that. I feel I know most of what I need to know from the hair and the voice. That's just how I've always done it.
Do you think there is a movie or a series that could come out of this beautiful book?
Make the phone call.
Okay. I mean, I see Tim Burton directing it.
Well,
stop motion.
Make the phone call. I really, it is so clear in my head, and that would be like a dream come true, obviously, to see it. But just even having the art, it was illustrated by this amazing artist, Alfredo Caceres, who, I described the things I was seeing in my head, and then he made it so beautiful. And I just love the art, and I love I'm very into medical textbooks from the 1890s. Has anyone been to the Mutter Museum in Philadelphia? Yes. A museum of antiquated medical oddities. I'm obsessed with antiquated medical oddities. And so I wanted the illustrations to draw from, old anatomy textbooks and stuff like that. And I think, but also have a sort of Edward Gorey-esque quality. And I think that he just did it so beautifully. I love the art.
How do you make sure when you're in this what did you call it?
Middle grade.
Middle grade. How do you make sure you're not too young and you're not too old and too scary? And like, what is the narrate, like, how do you walk that line? Because, right? Is there someone that proofs that and says this goes there? And
Oh, sure.
category?
No, I work with an amazing editor who would say, oh, that's a little too, or that's not enough,
Okay.
that kind of thing. But I as long as I wanted it to be fun and funny, and then I wanted it to also deal with questions of identity, of how to show up as yourself when the people around you are telling you not to. I wanted it to be about mad science, which I see as a metaphor for a few things. I think it's like a metaphor for the pleasure and the pain of a creative life, and then also a metaphor for environmentalism, for caring for this planet, and how do you be an effective activist in working to protect nature. Mostly I just wanted to be funny. So
Yeah. Was that that must have come from your father then?
yes,
This solar architect.
very much so.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
He never threw out food.
Mm.
He ate it all, even if he didn't want to. Very impressive.
Does he love that you've written this book? Is he?
He's no longer with
I'm
us.
sorry
No,
to
he
say- I'm
passed when
sorry
I
to
was young, but he, I think he would be pleased.
Yeah,
Yes.
you're spreading the good word. You talk also so much about shame and not holding on to that. The sisters go through this and being who you truly are and letting that out into the wild. I wonder, is that something that you had to deal with when you were a kid? Did you feel shame at some point? And then, I know we all do. We all.
Well,
have
I'm
something.
alive. So
Yes.
I think it's the most universal experience, especially for a person. Is anyone here literally 12
Any 12 years old.
or near 12, 10, 11? Yes.
There's some.
Yes.
Yes.
I think everyone who's 12 just deserves a hug and a medal. And thank you. Because at 12, I was my most creative, and in a way my most joyful self. I was just so I was so in love with the world and art, and I stayed up all night writing, and I was painting and play. I was so excited to be alive. And then some people were, mean, but not in a crazy way. Just like it's middle school. Middle school's tough, from adults, from peers. And so yes, I felt shame. I think that's a universal experience, and I think that if you can spend a lifetime trying to just be who you actually are, trying to figure out what that is, and then having the courage to be that despite what people say. But it's so much easier. The journey is so much easier when you have an adult at that age who says, I see you, you're fine, go for it.
Yeah.
And if everyone could have that, I think the world would be a nicer place to be.
What are some of the nicer responses you've received along the way? Because you travel, and I mean, right before we came out here, you got a young lady coming up to you and talking to you, and I imagine you have adults and the children opening up their hearts to you, talking about the book and your characters and SNL and all of it when you're on the road like this.
Sure. I mean, what's most inspiring is I've met a lot of young readers who are so into science and know a lot of animal facts and are so excited to say them. And I'm sure the folks who are here today
I think we have one in the front row here.
would know a lot of animal facts, because when I was young, I had so many animals in my room. A lot of them in tanks, a lot of them just free. There was a true menagerie in there, and I loved science so much, and I loved art and science, and I think they're kind of very similar in ways that we don't often acknowledge, and it's so exciting to meet young people who are so engaged and so in love with nature and so fascinated by things. And I look at them and I think, oh, you're great. You're just great. Keep going. I love ya. You're great. So meeting young folks and just hearing what their hobbies and interests are is just the greatest thing.
We're about to get to audience questions, but I have a few more of my own. Off of the book, I was looking at TikTok. You don't have social media.
I don't.
You don't.
I don't know what happens in there.
Well, you're better off, honey. You're better off out here.
That's what I think too.
And I saw someone doing an impression with you, and I thought it was great. And I was like, how trippy it must be. I don't know if you've seen people doing impressions of you, but now the queen of impressions is now, like, people are imitating you, and that must feel kind of trippy, right? A little bit?
The hunter becomes the hunted.
Yes.
It's funny you should mention, I find, I'm ashamed to admit this, I don't love it.
Oh, you don't love it?
I mean, I do, but it's like, I'm like, oh man, do I really sound, oh my gosh, is that what I sound like? And I think, wow, okay, giving me a taste of my own medicine. I more than deserve this. Thank you for the lessons, for teaching me.
Does it make you think differently about how you do impressions then? Does it make you approach it in a different way? Or no, you don't care? You don't care?
No, I do care. No, but I have in every impression I ever did was truly born of love. And even when I didn't agree with the person, which happened a lot, I would find something that I loved about them. Maybe the way they talk, something about the way they comport themselves, something I found fascinating at the very least, or just something I loved. And so, because I truly, like, I love people. I never want to hurt anyone's feelings. And so I tried always to come from a place of love. And I know that if someone's doing an impression of me, that's, of course, where they're coming from.
It's love. They love you. They are. This one guy was obsessed with you.
It's very sweet.
I need to do a little bit of
Sure.
my due diligence.
Sure.
If you do want to ask a question, you can do so by going to the web, pollev.com/chumanities, or you can text C Humanities and your question to 22333, or you can scan that code right behind my fat head, right up there, and on your camera app, and you'll be able to put it in there.
This is so. I don't have a QR code reader on my phone. That's how.
Is
old
it that
I am.
old?
Yes. This is very high tech. Oh my
Okay,
gosh.
Those questions will be coming
Amazing.
through soon. The other thing, you just did Hot Ones. Are we fans of Hot
yes.
Ones? It's
I
so
love that
good.
show.
Give us some of the behind the scenes of Hot Ones, because I'm obsessed. I think it's such a great way to interview someone.
It is. And what happened to me was, as I was eating these very hot peppers, I lost track of time and I lost my memories and I lost all my inhibitions, and all I could do was sweat and breathe. And it's an amazing format for a show, because I really didn't, my defenses were lowered because I was in so much pain. And I loved it. And he is such a good interviewer. It's kind of like someone else I know, huh? He was asking incredibly thoughtful, personal questions as I was just sort of like forgetting where, I stopped feeling human. I felt like a vessel for heat, like a copper pipe or something like that. And I loved it. It was fun.
How much of the physical, I'm just watching you get so physical and I love it. It makes me want to kick something. I get it. I get the energy and you're releasing it. Is that a thing for you? Like to help you release the comedy, you need to add the physical element to you because there's just so much going through your brain?
Well, it is just like, I do have a hard time sitting down.
Yes.
And now that we're talking about it, I love to.
We could have done the whole interview like this.
We could have done movement exercises.
Tell me more, Kate.
No, I do.
Oh.
You know what it is that my natural voice is like very soft. And that's just so that's why I always am talking in other voices, because it allows me to project, volume, to project joy, to project energy, because my own voice is just sort of like, because I'm actually very shy and it's sort of like this. But so what I can't do with my own natural voice, I do with my limbs. I guess that's what it is.
So I want to make sure we have time for a question. Oh, there you go. There they are.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Thank you for figuring out how to do that. I would not be able to know how to do that.
And at some point you want lights to go, maybe. You want to talk?
Oh,
maybe.
I just wanted to ask if any of the young people have an animal fact that they would like the audience to know. I personally would like to know. So think about that as
we'll get
this, and then I'll come ask about your animal facts.
Okay, we'll let you say that out loud. You won't have to put it on the screen, okay? Real human interaction.
Yes.
God forbid. Okay. What was your favorite part about writing the books? Was it a release? Was there a mental release?
Just imagining, just sitting and, well, now that we're up, just imagining, just sitting and imagining the voices, imagining the way that this world looked. I got to create creatures and that had been in my head for so long, and I got to write about places and people and things that don't exist, and I would just sit there and think, oh, that's fun, and then type that out. And what's more fun than that, than imagining? I love it. Absolutely love it.
Okay. Hi, Kate.
Hi.
When you're stuck in an artistic rut due to the state of the world,
Sure.
What are the ways you get yourself back to your artist center? Let's add a word.
Good question.
We were talking about that backstage.
Sure.
Yeah.
I do think that joy is important, and I think that even when stuff is topsy-turvy out there, it never hurts to spread joy and to connect with people over joy and delight. So I always, if I don't know what to do, I think of sketch comedy and stuff as like, you see something that delights you, a person, a pattern of behavior, something, and you sort of just put it on display, and then the people in the audience, hopefully, if they recognize it or find delight as well, they laugh, and then you've made a connection, and it's very powerful. Political satire is necessary for a functioning democracy, but also is, yes. And then pure joy is as well, I think. And there is like the connection that I feel with an audience when we're delighted by the same thing is like the best feeling I can feel. And so I just try to get back to that, to something that will help me to connect with people, basically.
What's giving you joy right now? Are you a Swiftie?
I know,
Like-
obviously. What is giving me joy is, I think the animals in my yard, who are amazing. Some of them I don't like, but I like that I don't like them. There are lobsters that live in my yard. What do you mean, you ask? Well, there are lobsters, there are giant crayfish, I should say, that live burrowed in the grass of my yard. And they burrow and they make little mud piles, and they're down there, and I've seen them, and they're about 6 inches long, and they are aggressive.
Are you in a river? Are you in a pond?
I'm not. I'm near wet ground.
Okay.
Near wetlands, and they molt, and so they leave their heads and claws in the yard. So I walk around the yard, and there they are. And I once got excited because I thought that they had passed, and I thought, oh, it's okay, they've passed. No, they got bigger. And so, but even the lawn lobsters, and that's the scientific name for them, I love animals.
That is joy. What advice would you give to a young person in middle grade if they don't have an adult who believes in them? We believe in you. I'll tell you that right now, whoever you are.
My advice would be, I guess, to turn to a book, because whoever wrote that book wrote it for you. I mean it, like as a person now who has written a book for young people, I wrote it for you. I wanted to talk to you, and I wanted to tell you. Why am I crying? I wanted to say, you're great. And so if there's no one around you who can say that, at the very least, people who have made art have done it to communicate with you, and you turn to it, because that's someone has been trying to reach out into the darkness to you. I can say from experience.
Do you picture someone or something or your readers when you're writing? Is there a person you're speaking to?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
I'm speaking to my readers. I'm speaking to my young self. I'm speaking to my current self. I'm speaking to anyone who will listen. I'm just trying to connect. And anyone who is making art, that's all that. And it's the most basic human that's why human beings have always told stories and drawn pictures and done anything they've done. We're just trying to connect with each other, because that's what gets people through life.
Has writing in this way unlocked anything for you? Made you think about things differently? Or you want a hot wing?
Yeah, I need
Seitan?
some buffalo for that.
We can come back to that.
Well, no, you know what? Getting to meet so many young readers has given me just so much hope and made me so happy. And I think I look at young people who are so interested in everything, and I think, okay, we're going to be okay.
I think and it doesn't sound like you're Doesn't sound like you're a big phone person scrolling too much, doom scrolling or no. But I do think when you get up and out and into the world, you quickly realize, oh, like you said, we are okay. People are kind for more often than not.
I do believe that.
Yeah.
And the other reason I wrote this was that I wanted to encourage young readers to go outside and touch a bug and maybe even a lawn lobster. And I grew up before the internet, and I had the greatest time just going outside with my friends and finding toads, and later inadvertently killing those toads. But that's neither here nor there. Don't ask more about that. I'm not going to say more about that. But it's
going to be a headline tomorrow.
it's so important to go outside and to connect with each other without a screen and without the kind of anonymity that allows for cruelty, because when you can just connect and bond over shared interests in the beauty of the world that we are lucky enough to inhabit, good things come from that. And so I would love if folks got outside. That's all.
I would recommend parents, all of you parents in here, read the book as well, or adults. It unlocked that for me, remembering those times of like a summer day and, like a storm had passed through and the pavement was wet and you go outside and some simplicity is nice. So it might unlock something for you.
Yes.
Which character do you relate to the most? Josie, age 10.
Where's Josie?
Josie. Oh, hi,
Josie.
Josie.
Thanks for coming, Josie. Thank you for your question. I think I relate most to Gertrude, who is the protagonist, because she loves animals and she sometimes makes jokes that people don't really understand or think are weird. And she sometimes has ideas that are like too big and too weird. But ultimately what happens is that her ideas are the ones that save the day. And I think that's awesome, because that's sometimes what happens in real life. Your big weird idea that no one else likes is the thing that ends up working. And I think that's great.
You have some weird ideas, Josie?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, you have such a creative mind. Do you ever filter yourself when writing? Or for that matter, when you're performing? Are you editing in real time?
Sometimes, yes, I'm always sort of wondering, I always am wondering, is this too much? Is this good? Is this, I doubt myself a lot. But sometimes when I can really turn that off, that's when the best stuff comes up. And so learning how to just get rid of it and say, it's fine, just do whatever, and then you can fix it later. The best stuff comes out of that.
I doubted laying on the ground and lifting my legs to you. I thought,
and yet,
maybe that's not the best move to do right now with the kids.
I feel like that was the best part of the whole thing.
You had to do that.
And I was going to crawl on top of your legs to fly on them. I was going to do that, and then I thought that could involve a lawsuit later. So I pulled back. But that would have been memorable as well.
Yeah, we knew this question was coming.
We censored ourselves.
To perform in that way. We're going to go a little over. That's still okay? That's still okay. Okay? Is that okay? No one has anywhere to be. When working on multiple large projects simultaneously, SNL, movies, the book, what's your strategy to manage your limited time?
Oh, gosh.
Go to the woods.
Just, I find the more I have to do, the more my mind is just I don't even have time to think about it or doubt myself. And so I often it goes better when there's more to do,
I agree with that.
Yeah.
When is Barbie 2 coming out? I just threw that one in.
I don't know. I don't know.
Anything?
I don't know anything.
Okay. All right. You have such a creative mind. Do you ever feel? Okay. That's the same question. Should we see?
Yeah,
Yes.
I can't stand it anymore.
Can we put
I
some
have to
lights
know.
up?
Okay. Does anyone have an animal fact that they would like the whole audience to know? Yes.
Okay, so I do have a lot of big animal facts, but mostly that's not. Thanks. It reminded me of these two kids in my class. They're twins, and they always have like this funny animal fact. And wait, now they don't understand your type of humor, but I have a feeling when they grow up and they're older, they'll understand.
You're not having an animal fact here.
I do.
You're not telling great.
Yeah, but it's funny, so like,
Okay. It's what? Do you have an animal fact? I think you're great. I'm enjoying you. Do you have an animal fact?
I will say that grackles are very common. It's a type of bird, and I see them almost as much as what's this type of bird called again? Cardinals. Yeah,
It's a grackle?
grackle.
Grackle. I will look it up. I've never heard of this bird. You've taught me something new this day. What's your name?
Miles.
Miles, thank you. A grackle. Who else? Who else? Thank you, Miles. A grackle. Who knew there was a thing called a grackle? Yes?
My animal fact is tigers' stripes appear on their skin. So if they are shaved, if their fur is shaved off, their stripes will appear on their skin.
Oh. Thank you very much. Mind blown. Where are my young folks? No offense to the adults, but I don't care. I want, okay.
When dolphins get ill, other dolphins push them to the surface to help them breathe.
Oh! May we all be more like the dolphins. Thank you for that. Okay.
Starfishes actually regrow their arms like octopuses.
They do? And may we all be more like the starfish after our failures. Yes.
Water bears, there are actually about 10 million more water bears left in the water.
A water bear is that little microscopic thing? Is it also called a tardigrade? Ah! That's amazing. Thank you. Okay, one more animal fact. Okay. Okay, what is it?
If you tug on a horse's mane or its tail, it won't feel anything. That's why when people get onto horses or ponies, they grab their mane.
Wow! Thank you. I didn't know any single thing that I just learned. See, you guys, we're fine because of you young folks. The future belongs to you. You're great. You're all great. Ugh. Okay. Well, that was incredibly enlightening. Thank you so much. I have enjoyed this so much. Thank you for coming today. Thank you. Thank you.